those belts tight. You're watching the Bolt Grand National Series.
Ready, green, green, green.
Only on Legends Racing Network.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Bolt Racing League Grand National Series Race Season 3, Race 15. I am Wolfgang Hoffman. I will be your commentator for tonight. And this is Race 3 of the Chase. We're here at Kentucky Speedway tonight. Let's have a look at the weather conditions real quick. So, pretty reasonably cool, about 76 Fahrenheit, I believe. Clear skies. It should be a great day for racing. Qualifying has been completed, and so we have our grid determined for tonight. Currently, they're doing warm-up. It looks like Kenneth Cheney has been the fastest in warm-up so far. Kenneth Cheney not in the championship contention, of course, but has actually had a pretty good season so far in his 5 races. Winning 1 race, having 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s. It's been a pretty solid season for him so far, even though he's obviously not going to be competing for the championship this year, but I'm sure he's just here to win some races. And of course, have fun. We're about to end here, and then we will be able to go through our grid. Welcome back, everybody. We're on the formation laps right now, and we're gonna have a few laps here before we go green, so we're gonna have some time to run down through the grid lineup here. On pole position with the great lap is Donnie Kite, and alongside him on the front row is that green and blue number 6 of Nick Hapyak. Very, very close behind. In third place is Kenneth Cheney. Not much to lose, but a lot to gain. Alongside him is Pacey Wygent in that 00 machine, and he is the championship leader. So I wonder what's going to be going through his mind tonight. In 5th place is Jimmy Mensch, and alongside him is Ronnie Ayers in that number 17 machine. And then just behind them in that number 7 is Bobby Blowers, and alongside him is Josh Arnold in that fiery number 22 machine. Pretty big gap behind. Now you have Greg Pillar in that number 32 machine in 9th place, and then 2 tenths behind him is Brian Earhart in that black number 71. 11th is Leonard Williams in that striking number 8, and alongside him is Cole Snyder in the 24 machine. And that rounds up the grid. So the stage caution will be at lap 40. We will have. Let me make sure I got that's right. We're going to have 100 laps tonight. Stage lap will be lap 40. We're going to have 4 extra sets of tires, so 5 sets total available to these drivers. And we will be going green soon here. So we will be up this time by. And coming up to the green flag here is that number 2 machine on pole position. It's going to be leading up to the green. Green flag in the air, and we are racing. Bit of a slow start for that number 8 machine. Possibly he missed a shift in the back. Number 2 looks like he's going to hold the lead down into turn 1. Nick Hapiak following in second, but it looks like he's going to be outpaced by that number 76 machine on the inside. Down the back straightaway. Number 2 is going to have a clear line into turn 3. Number 6 still fighting on the outside of that 76 machine. And it looks like the number 6 is going to have some great momentum here and could go for the lead on that number 2. Number 6 will lead the first lap. Starting second, he will lead Donnie Kite into turn 1. Looks like they're going double file for their back, but it looks like they're starting to single file out now. That 34 machine had a look to the 94 on the inside just for a moment, but backed out of it. Of course, it's early in the race, so maybe it's not worth taking a big risk now. Top 5 get stage points, but not going to be thinking about that right now because we're very early in the race, of course. But, you know, every move counts. Not long to the stage. I believe it's at the start of lap 40, not the end of lap 40, so they're not going to have tons of time to settle out these positions here. 76 now going on the inside of that number 2 machine. Outside seems to have some good momentum early in this race. Who knows if that will hold later in the race, especially as the track conditions change and, of course, day turns to night. But for right now, that outside line seems to be working for those who choose to go up there. That 22 just giving the air push to that number 32 machine of Greg Pillar. Whoa, it looked like maybe some contact against the wall there for that 32 machine. Of course, pushing hard, trying to get that 76. And now he finds himself battling with that 22. But he's going to have some good momentum there on that high side. Number 6 continues to lead out front. Still side by side for, I believe, 3rd place. Number 2 seems to be looking behind more than ahead, and that number 6 is starting to get a bit of a lead out front. Perhaps he's saving tires, though, because I'm sure it's a difficult track on the tires, as front-limited tracks tend to be. It's going to be really important for these guys to not kill their tires. .32 machine of Greg Pillar into second now. Great moves from him we've been seeing early in this race. He looks like he's getting a move on. He wants to get up to the front there. Single file for the most part. That 76 machine just looking down the inside of the 94, but now the 94 is looking down the inside of the number 2, and they look like they're going to go side by side through 3 and 4. Nothing doing for now, and it's just a big gaggle of cars back here. All people jockeying for position all over. Still single file for now, though. All people just looking for opportunities. And as I say that, they start going side by side for that 4th place. Number 2 and the number 94. The number 2 seems like he's losing a bit of ground at the start of this race. I'm not sure if he's just saving his tires or whatnot, but could be strategy, could be a bit of a lack of pace at the start of this race. Who's to say? Down to the apron goes 34 on the number 76. Gunning for that 6th place, and the 34 looks like he's going to go through. Battle for the race lead right now between the number 22 and the number 6. Number 6 fighting on that inside, but as we know, that outside line seems to have quite a bit of momentum. And it looks like the 22 is going to get the lead. Josh Arnold now leads. He's going to start lap 9 now. We've had, I believe, only one leader up until that lap, so it's going to be the number 22 out front. Jockeying behind is going to be the number 2 and the number 94 for that 4th place. Again, just tons of position changes we're seeing here. Lots of passing, and nobody seems to be taking it especially easy, to be honest. Seems like they're gunning pretty hard for every position. .22 still leading. Decent lead for him out front, up to a couple of tenths. He's not under immediate pressure from behind. Draft seems to be pretty strong at this track. I would be willing to bet that the dirty air is too, though. Jimmy Mensch fighting on the outside of Bobby Blowers. But the 34 seems to slide up in front of him and try to take that air away from him. And it seems to be proving an effective strategy for him right now to hold on to that that 5th place. Although the 22 has a solid lead, he's not leaving Nick Hapiak in the dust. In fact, it seems like those top two are pulling a pretty big gap over Greg Pillar. And I know Greg Pillar was making some pretty great progress at the start of this race. And so he just seems to be dropping back just a little bit now. Big gaggle of 4 cars behind. Just trying to stay out of the dirty air of each other, it seems like. Number 6 looks like he has some good momentum to try and catch that number 22. Josh Arnold will have to be looking at his mirrors. Of course, you want to try and take that take that air off the car behind to try and make their car tight and get them understeer. But it appears that Nick Hapiak is actually doing a pretty good job of staying out of the dirty air of that number 22. I've noticed he's been diamonding the corner, taking different lines inside, outside, just trying to get any air he can get on that nose. And Greg Pillar now under pressure from the number 2 car. It looks like the number 2 is going to go all the way around the outside of that 32. Great move. Now it's going to leave Greg Pillar vulnerable to the 34 of Bobby Blowers. And it looks like he's got the momentum, and he's going to sweep around the outside before they even get into turn 1 here. Question is, can Jimmy Mensch follow? Side by side for the lead now. Number 6 and the number 22. And the number 6 has got great momentum and has got the number 22 back in the lead. Great move by him. And number 6 had a fantastic run from the Capiat. Still maintaining that. Side by side for 3rd now. Donnie Kuyten, that number 22. And the 34 of Bobby Blowers. Looks like they're starting to make some progress too. That Greg Pillar seems like he's been dropping back a little bit. Perhaps he was going very hard at the beginning of this race. I know he was one of the more aggressive drivers we saw making moves. Still side by side with that number 2 and 34. But Jimmy Mensch is looking in behind these guys, and I know Jimmy Mensch seemed like he was kind of biding his time at the start of this race. Perhaps it's starting to pay off for him. Still not side by side for now, but everybody's just trying to get a run on each other, no matter how small it may be. Just trying to put pressure, stay out of the dirty air, save your tires just a little bit more. Get just a little bit more pace. And that number 6 looks like he's starting to build a lead over that 22. Whoa! Contact down the front straightaway between the 22 and the 34. It looks like they just misjudged each other a little bit there. Made some contact on the front straightaway. Of course, side drafting is a big part of this race, especially at a big track like Kentucky. And that sort of thing can happen. You got to be precise. Well, 34 drifts up the track a little bit. Looks like he's starting to get a little tight, and this maybe can bring the number 2 into the conversation. Side by side for 2nd place, but a push from the number 2 to the 34 gets him just ahead as they go into turn 1. Number 2 sniffing, just looking for an opportunity to get past that 34. 22 goes, the number 2 car goes down low, and the 22 goes way up high. Donnie Kuyten into 3rd place now. Immediately diving to that inside of that 34 car, just trying to gain some momentum where he can. That number 6 is not running away from the field anymore. 34 now looks like he's going to be a new challenger for that race lead. And yes, he is. He's just about side by side. He's got a nose to the inside. It looks like he's going to just get ahead just by a tiny fraction of a nose into turns 3 and 4. Number 6 still fighting on the outside. Looks like he's diamonding the corner just a little bit to try and get a good run off the corner. And it seems like it's working out for him. But that number 34 is still fighting hard on that inside line. It looks like the number 6 looks like he could hold the lead as they go into turns 1 and 2. Flowers is fighting hard though. And the number 2 has a great run, Donnie Kite. The number 2 car actually pushes the 6 car, and that gets the 6 car easily to the lead as we go into turn 4. Ooh, slight contact between the 34 and the number 2. The 34 seems like he's getting a little tight into turns 3 and 4. And I know he's had a few close calls with some people in there. And so he does not have the momentum right now, and it looks like the number 22 is going to get him as well. Josh Arnold trying to sweep around the outside. Nothing doing for now, though. Battle for the race lead. Donnie Kite trying to go on the inside of Nick Hapiak. And 3 and 4 seems like a tough corner to be on the inside of. And the 34 actually has some great momentum himself. Jimmy Mensch pits. Perhaps some early strategy from him. Obviously, he's going to have much fresher tires than these guys, and since they have 4 extra sets of tires, that does offer quite a bit of strategy. So Jimmy Mensch choosing to pit early. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Now, it is possible these guys may have to pit for the stage here, since they're fairly limited on fuel by the setup of the league. Still a battle for the race lead here. Number 2 car pits. Donnie Kite, in the battle for that race lead, decides to copy the strategy of... I can't quite remember who pitted there. His name just escapes my mind a little bit. Jimmy Mensch. Jimmy Mensch exiting the pits now, so it's going to be a race off the pit road to see who can get out in front compared to Donnie Kite and Jimmy Mensch. Let's see how powerful the undercut is. I know it's a little difficult sometimes because of the cold tires, but I'm sure these guys have been using their stuff up, especially with how tight that 34 car has been getting. Well, as I say that, he's got the lead. He's doing a great job right now. Number 2 car coming out of the pits now. Donnie Kite, and it's going to be a close battle between him and Jimmy Mensch as they go into turns 3 and 4. Josh Arnold and Nick Hapiak pit 2. It seems like this is a fairly popular strategy, pitting early here. Number 8 pits as well. And I believe they will not make it on fuel to the end of this stage. So perhaps pitting early is a smart strategy to try and maybe use that set of tires up. Don't put a ton of fuel in that car and see what you can do from there. Take off like a rocket. The number 34 car still leading this race. He was the leader even before the pit cycle started, but he has chosen not to pit. He's chosen to go longer on fuel than these other guys have. It's really impossible to say what effect that'll have in terms of strategy for him. Although it is worth wondering how strong that undercut is. So 34's last lap is a 32.335. And Donnie Kite's last lap was a 31.8. So those cars on fresh tires are gaining quite a bit right now. It'll be interesting to see how long the 34 can go on fuel, because I know that they're quite limited. And is it really worth pitting late just before the stage for tires when you could just pit earlier and then take another set of tires? Although, you could be planning for later in the race in case there's an extra caution right at the end or something like that. It's possible to say. We'll start lap 28 here soon. More than halfway to the stage now. And keep in mind, it is on the start of lap 40 that the stage is, in fact, not at the end of lap 40, as is customary generally. The main battle I've seen on the track right now is the 00 and the number 6 going side by side. Nick Hapiak was the leader of this race for quite a while, and I'm sure he's right in that fight. But it does seem like the number 2 and the 22 have gained some time by pitting earlier. So let's see if the number 6 can gain any advantage from having slightly fresher tires on these guys and maybe catch them before the end of the pit. It is worth noting that some of them did take 2 tires. It's not immediately clear who has. Number 22 had the 00 pits. Pacey Wygen, he was up there, fuel only for him, no tires. So it's going to be a very short stop for him. But what that will mean is that he saves a set of tires that he may be able to use later. We'll have to see if that's as often as a fruitful strategy for him. 34 still leads, has not pitted yet. You have to imagine he'd lose quite a bit of track position if he were to pit now, unless he was only to take fuel. Although in that case, I'm not sure if the pit stop would take any longer. These tire changes are pretty fast, of course. 34 lapping the number 76 of Kenneth Cheney. I am not sure if the 76 is pitted yet, but he seems like he's going pretty slow right now. He has not pitted. Seems to be losing quite a bit of momentum at the moment, but the cars behind him are catching him very fast. Number 6 passes him. It looks like Greg Pillar will too. He just has no momentum. I'm not sure if his tires are just gone, but difficult to say, but he seems to not have the momentum right now. In fact, he's only doing 140 miles per hour through the turns right now, and I'd have to see what the people in front are doing, but it seems to be far more than that. Big battle right here between the number 6, the number 94, and the number 34. I believe it was an exchange for the lead. Number 6 is up to 3rd place now. In fact, I don't believe it was. I believe that may have been the number 6 unlapping himself. Apologies. Lap 34 now. We're getting very, very close to this end of this stage. Only be about 5 laps from now. Thereabouts. Number 34 has not pit yet. I believe neither has the 32 of Greg Pillar. And those cars are old tires, seem to be losing quite a bit of momentum. 34 down pit lane, so he will be giving up the stage win, presumably. So he's chosen to bite the bullet now. Get a stop out of the way before the stage. Greg Pillar now leads. And he has quite a big lead, too. He's coming down pit lane, so it seems like the folks who stopped early will likely be at an advantage here. Yep, Nick Hapiak will be in the race lead. Behind him is Jimmy Mensch, and let's see if Jimmy can catch him. He's only a couple seconds behind. However, his last lap was half a second slower. Nick Hapiak is flying at the moment. Took 4 tires at the pit stop, and it seems to be benefiting him at the moment. Thing is, he'll have to pay that price later. Let's see where Greg Pillar comes out. Exiting the pits just now, he's coming through 1 and 2. Car's coming fast past him. The number 00 machine of Pacey Wygen, the championship leader, just passed him. I have to wait just a little longer for the timing screen to update so we can get a better idea of the running order. You know who is leading and who is second, but it's not immediately clear who's third. I believe it's Donnie Kite. Donnie Kite was interestingly one of the earlier stoppers. And Jimmy mentioned Nick Hapiak have leapfrogged him by quite a bit. I'm not sure if that's just down to maybe taking less tires than the other people in front of him, or if maybe he had a slower stop. But I can't imagine he was undercut because he was one of the earlier stoppers. Number 6 car continues to lead and continues to extend his lead from Jimmy Mensch. Side by side for 4th place. See the number 34 car of Bobby Blowers and Josh Arnold in that number 22. Both of them have been up in the conversation for the race lead this race, but then again, who hasn't? It's been a very competitive race so far. And I believe they are catching Donnie Kite, so this could end up being a battle for 3rd place before this stage is over. They're not going to have much time to do it. There's only 1 lap to go in this stage before it's over. Nick Hapiak coming through 3 and 4 now, and it looks like he's going to be the stage winner. And I believe this is the end of the stage here at the start of lap 40. And checkered flag for the stage. The number 6 of Nick Hapiak is your stage winner. Great job by him, and I believe savvy strategy call as well. Seems to have played things well. Taking those 4 tires has definitely gotten him some bonus points. And second in the stage will be Jimmy Mensch. Solid 2nd place for him. In the championship conversation, so every point matters, of course. Nick Hapiak in 2nd place in the championship will outscore his championship rival, Pacey Wygent, closing the gap from 2nd to 1st in that championship. Pacey Wygent got 6th in the stage. Donnie Kite 3rd, Bobby Blowers 4th, and Josh Arnold 5th. We'll be back after a quick break. See you then. Wait, what? Welcome back, everyone. The stage is now over. The number 6 of Nick Hapiak was the stage winner, and he also won the race off of pit road. I'm not sure who took which amounts of tires, or if everybody took 4 tires. I'd have to imagine everyone did. But a much-needed stage win for him. Try to close that gap on his championship rival, Pacey Wychen, who hasn't been having the best day so far. But he's just coming off of a dominant win last week, so we'll have to see what happens here. And you never say never. Getting ready to take the green flag here. Number 6 will be leaning into the green. Green flag in the air, and we're back racing. It's going to be a clear run in turn 1 for the number 6 of Nick Hapiak, but it's going to be side by side between Donnie Kite and Jimmy Mensch for second place. Through turns 1 and 2, the 94 has the momentum. Jimmy Mensch is going to get into second place. He had lost that spot on pit road after the stage, but he's got it back now, and he is right on the back bumper of Nick Hapiak. Jockeying for position behind 22 of Josh Arnold and the 34 of Bobby Blowers. Side by side for third place. Pacey Wychen challenging Jimmy Mensch, challenging Donnie Kite for that third place. Into turns 3 and 4. The 2 has the momentum, but the 00 seems to have grit right now. Gonna want to try and minimize that gap on his championship rival. I'm sure he's motivated to do that. Great momentum for Mensch here. But it won't be enough to hold off the number 2 of Donnie Kite from getting into second place. And Kite has such a good run, he'll have to force the number 6 to look in his mirrors. Double zero just slides in front of that 94 of Jimmy Mensch. Side by side, close battle down the front stretch. 34 of Bobby Blowers challenging for 5th place. Cole Snyder in that 24, looking to the inside of Jimmy Mensch. Great momentum for the number 2 of Donnie Kite. Going to challenge for the lead now into turns 3 and 4, but can he get it? I know that inside line is quite difficult to pass on, and that number 6 takes advantage of it. Cross the line to start lap 49. Side by side for second place here. That number 00 of Pacey Wychen seems like he's really, really motivated to try and challenge for that lead now with the championship rival. Working on the inside of Donnie Kite. But he slides up just a little bit, and that seems like it'll hamper both of them and give Bobby Blowers a chance to capitalize. Good momentum for Kite with the assistance of Bobby Blowers, is lining up behind him, giving that arrow push. Still side by side though. Wychen is not done yet. He really wants the second place. Looks like he might get it. Gonna be very, very close. Kite just able to rip that top. Get great momentum down the front stretch. Looking to the inside is 34. Close battle, nose to tail, up and down the field. Big move to the inside, further back in the pack. Kenneth Cheney trying to make a big move to the inside of Jimmy Mensch. Jimmy Mensch has been losing some momentum after this restart here. Having to look behind instead of up front. Side by side for the race lead. Kite with some great momentum, but it's going to be 3 wide for the race lead through turns 1 and 2. The number 6 maintaining his momentum on the inside, but that 00 Wychen fighting with the number 2. You just see this differential in speed you get from taking that wider line. Double file also for 3rd and 4th. 24 of Cole Snyder. Haven't talked about him too much this race so far, but he's putting his name up there in contention. In fact, he looks like he has a chance at Kite here. just as Wyjet has a chance to have a look at his championship rival there for the race lead. Looks like Snyder may have the advantage into turns 3 and 4. Great move by that number 24 machine. And looking on the outside, putting his name back in contention, is the 32 of Greg Pillar. Kite just doesn't seem to have the speed right now. He's getting freight trained just a little bit by everybody else. Of course, momentum is so important. It's not even so much about how you just drive each corner. If you lose momentum, you're just going to lose spots. Feisty driver. 34th Bobby Flowers way to the high side, but it looks like it's working out for him here. Just in behind. Nick Hapiak still leads. Been a great race for him so far. I believe he's led the most laps of anybody. Won the stage. But he's going to have to keep that lead here. And he looks like he's been driving hard to do so. 00 just looking to the bottom of the track. Trying to get some air on that nose. Drifting up high on the corner exit. But it looks like it's like a solid way to run the corner for him. And it's going to be a close battle for third place here between Greg Pillar and Cole Snyder. Pillar's been making some good moves on that high side since this restart, I've noticed. And he seems like that's a good line for him right now. Still single file throughout the field, really. Lots of battles, but not much side-by-side action for now. But everyone just looking for opportunities. Really close nose to tail for Bobby Blowers and Greg Pillar. 34 just getting some clean air on his nose to the inside there, but so will the 32 because he was looking to the high side of Snyder. All these lines offsetting each other. Always found that's one of the most interesting things about these big track races. Just seeing the lines people take to try and get out of the dirty air from each other. Some of these are lines you'd never run on your own, but you got to be strategic with the way you drive. Still that battle behind for fourth place. 34 looks like he's gained the advantage now. The number 2 dives to the inside of Greg Pillar. Kite trying to fight back, make up some of the ground he lost. Down the front stretch we go, and the number 2 has a great run on that inside, despite having no draft. Perhaps he's just traveling that much less distance. Kenneth Cheney just giving a little aero boost. Kite down the backstretch. Although, the 76 looking to the inside of Kite now. Any chance you can get for dirty air, or to get out of dirty air, I should say. Kite starting to gain some of his momentum back. He's looking to the outside of that number 32 machine of Greg Pillar. The question is, can Greg Pillar get through this corner fast enough on that bottom line so where he can clear himself off the corner? At that point, the outside line becomes kind of useless. And yeah, that does look like it's the case. Battle for the race lead now, that 00 of Pacey Wygen. Looking pretty pacey right now. All over the back of that number 6 machine in his championship rival. Wygen seems like he's been being aggressive but patient. He's been biding his time, just staying behind that number 6. Never pressing too hard, but always just looming there. Number 6 doing what he needs to do, though, still. Hapiak doing a good job out front still. It's been a fantastic drive by him so far. Snyder inserting his name into contention now as well, although that seemed to be kind of a bad corner for him as he's lost a little bit of momentum to the cars in front and behind him. Hapiak's going to have to be checking his mirrors here. All running single file, all about the same line. In fact, none of them were really able to stay out of the dirty air of each other there. So nothing changes down the backstretch. starting to have some more aggressive racing behind as well. A little bit of double file, but these guys up in front just trying to find an opportunity to gain momentum on the others. Kite trying to get back at Pillar here. Gonna try and sweep around the outside. Looks like he has great momentum. The 32's fighting hard, but he just doesn't have it in comparison to Kite. But all this fighting means that they're going to lose time compared to each other, and it's going to be 3 wide down the backstretch. Josh Arnold making up a couple places there in the mid-pack. It looks like he may be able to challenge Kite soon here. Cole Snyder keeping his name up there in contention. Looking to the high side. Bobby Blauer is just lurking there in 4th place. Side by side for 5th place. Yes, Josh Arnold gets into 5th place here, into the top 5 for him. One car way up high in the background there. Lead Greg Pillar. Now for the race lead, it's going to be close again. Wyjan applying the pressure to Apiak. Seems like an ebb and flow, an accordion of leaders here at the front. Sometimes it's close, sometimes it's a little further apart, but nevertheless, neither of them can afford to rest for a moment. Ooh, it's close. Wyjan right in the draft of that number 6. He's going to be looking to the high side. What can he do? For the race lead through 1 and 2, and looks like Wyjan can't quite get to his outside and corner exit there, which would have hampered that number 6 if he was able to do that. Apiak doing a good job there. Apiak goes high, and that's going to help Wyjan on the inside here. Very close off of turn 4, and down the front straightaway they go. Going to be a battle into 1 and 2. Can the 6 hold on? And he has great momentum. More difficult for these guys behind to do anything, but it looks like Snyder has fantastic momentum down the backstretch. It's going to be 3 wide for the race lead. All the way up there on that outside, it seems like Apiak's just able to get that good momentum. I wonder when that outside line is going to become less effective, or if it will at all. Usually as more people run up there, maybe gets a bit slicker, a bit more hot up at that part of the track, and it's not as good for the tires. But so far, it seems to be holding strong for everybody who goes up there. Wyjan's not done, though. Into 3 and 4. Looks like Bobby Blowers is going to get to the outside of Snyder. Great move from him. It looks like he could have some momentum to attack the 00 machine. Goes down to the bottom of the track. Doesn't choose to push Wyjan down the front straightaway. 34 trying to make something happen on that inside line. Very close off of turn 2. Snyder choosing to push the 34 into the corner. Oh, contact! Looks like it was too big of a push, too close to the corner, and Bobby Blowers gets shoved up to the track into Wyjan, and that's going to lose them all momentum, and the number 6 is going to get away out front. 3 wide for 2nd place. Bobby Blowers trying to make up that lost ground. 4 cars all in a battle for 2nd place. Incredible battle we're seeing here. Josh Arnold in the mix as well. We're gonna have 30 laps to go here. And there's nobody's taking it easy. They got a ways to go, but we've already had quite a bit of racing so far. So every position matters. Lots of weaving, just trying to gain some sort of advantage on the other. I imagine their tires are fairly old now too, so it's going to be harder to go on that inside line perhaps. I've noticed it's gotten even worse since the restart, frankly. And behind Snyder seems like he's losing a bit of momentum. Now he's coming under pressure for 5th place from Kenneth Cheney. And through all of this, Happy Axe still leads, and now it's gone from a 4-car battle for the race lead to a 3-car battle. Arnold, Wygent, and Happy Axe just seemingly like they're working together now a bit more. Not going side by side, all running clean lines, and the 34 comes to pit road. And yeah, I'd have to assume that they're going to pit here, so this could be a great strategy call for him if he can pull it off. I know that undercut was very powerful at the coming up to the stage break. Let's see who chooses to respond. Side by side down for the lead down the backstretch. Wygent with some good momentum. Very good momentum as he edges ahead into turn 4. And into the lead he goes. Good move. Arnold looking to take advantage as well. He do it on that outside line. And yes, he will. He looks like he's going to have some fantastic momentum down the backstretch. Moving ahead. Happy Axe trying to fight it, but now he comes onto pit lane. I think he realized he was fighting a bit of a losing battle there with Josh Arnold. Decided to respond to the stop of Blowers. Now Arnold has his sights set on Wygent. Josh Arnold not in championship contention, but doing a very good job here in this race and mixing it with some championship contenders. Just looking a little bit to the high side of Wygent. Big gap from Arnold back to Cheney. And Cheney trying to eke out that tire snow a little longer. Maybe get a tire advantage on these guys who have pit earlier. It'll be interesting to see who gets out ahead of Blowers versus Happy Axe. Blowers had a fairly quick pit stop, so he must have taken 2 tires. Now that's a bold strategy with 24 laps to go. I'd have to imagine you'd want fresh tires, but perhaps he thinks there will be a caution later. Again, good driving from him today. He's been up in the conversation more often than not. And this could be the strategy call that helps him quite a bit. Now the question is, how much is tire wear going to hurt him at the end of the race if these people in front of him pit later? Coming down pit road is Josh Arnold. He was the second place man, following Wygent closely. Let's see how his stop goes for him, and let's see how many tires he takes, because I know, I believe it was, I can't remember if it was Blowers. Blowers who took 2 tires. That was a fairly quick stop from him, so let's see. Seconds counting up. Looks like the right side done. Left side going up, so it looks like he's taking all 4 tires. So that'll help him relative to some other people. But that was Blowers going through turn 1. He'll be way ahead of Josh Arnold. Then again, his stop was also slower. Took less tires. Pacey Wygent now pitting from the race lead. He looks like he's going to respond to the people behind. Trying not to go too long on that set of tires and end up losing too much time. It's obvious that undercut is very powerful here. Everybody down pit lane. There's very few people who are staying out still. Blowers looks like he's in the race lead now. Way ahead of Pacey Wygent. Wow, it's unbelievable just how much those fresh tires gained him. Albeit he had a much shorter pit stop than those guys. But it'll be an interesting race to the end of this one with 20 laps to go. Let's see if he can hold on. So the running order will be Blowers, Happy Axe, and then Kite. That will be your running order after the pit stops. And now it's all to play for. Bobby Blowers, of course, himself a championship contender, only 2 points behind Hapiak. So a victory here would be really, really helpful for him and would help him gain on his other 2 championship rivals. Mensch seems to have fallen away a little bit towards the end of this race. He's another one of those championship contenders. Not the best day for him so far. He's been up there on occasion, but after this restart, he seems like he's lost a little bit of momentum. Let's see, any battles going on? Looks like Hiller and Rodiers going fairly close for that 8th place. Hiller looked like he was getting himself up to the front. It seems like he's struggled a little bit on the long run this race. I know he always was moving up early in the first stint, and after the restart, he was putting his name in contention for the lead, but it seems like he's dropped back a little bit more than maybe some of the others have. Bobby Blowers looking to clear this lap car. Cole Snyder fairly quickly. It'll be a little while before he gets to him, but as the leader, you're just looking for any way you can get past those guys. You're worried about every obstacle that lies in your way of winning this race. I'm not sure if Hapiak took 4 tires or not. He did, so he will have a possible advantage on Bobby Blowers at the end of this race. It's 4 seconds behind, but he gained quite a bit of lap time that last time by. So it'll be really, really crucial for that 34 car to not lose time in lap traffic. Battle for 3rd place, Donnie Kite. And Josh Arnold going at it for 3rd place. Doing battle. 22 coming out and top that time. Kite will look to follow in his tracks down into turn 1 and 2. Pacey Wygant seems to have lost out a little bit on those pit stops. Perhaps it's because he pitted a little late or some of those guys. But I have to imagine we'll see him climbing his way back up through the field towards the end of this race. Not only will he have fresher tires, but he's been showing some real pace since that restart. Hapiak, another half-second gain on Bobby Blowers. Consistently, he's running half a second per lap faster. I mean, it's only a matter of time before he catches him. Battle further back. Number 24, Cole Snyder. And Bobby Blowers trying to get past him, but the 24 seems like he's not willing to give in, just because he's got the leader behind him. But obviously, Bobby Blowers would wish that was the case. Just pushing him a little bit down the front straightaway, but he's going to be really hoping he can get to the inside and get past him, put him behind him. This battle is undoubtedly losing him time, and that is only helping Hapiak. Josh Arnold and Pacey Wygant also catching, so this could be... there's a lot on the line for Blowers here. In fact, some very close battles behind. So he could end up losing quite a few places. All of the top 6 are very close to each other. All of which are in 4 seconds, and you have a big gap back to Jimmy Bench. Flowers just can't seem to clear that 24. Again, being on that inside line is doing him no favors. It definitely seems like the middle lane. Oh, contact! The leader in the 24 down the front straightaway. I think that'll be some nerves inside the cockpit of that 34. Oh, that's nightmare stuff. Contact! The race leader in that 24 again. Whoa, up into the wall goes Hapiak in the background. He was really close. Oh, contact more in the 3 and 4. This is a fierce battle. The 24 just does not want to let him have it. The 34 won't let him through either. but it's going to be a crossover by that 24, and he still gets back in front. Oh my goodness, this must be so frustrating for Bobby Blowers. And then now it's a battle for second place. Happyak and Arnold, and also Wygent battling for that second place. Obviously different ages of tires between these three. Wygent, I believe, with the freshest tires. Don't count out Kaz Cheney. The 22 goes to the inside of that number 6. Big set to the inside, and he's going to clear him. That's one of the rare times I believe we've seen a pass on the inside this race, but it was a really well-executed move from Arnold. Wygent looking to capitalize, too. Bobby Blowers has lost all of the advantage he had gained by taking 2 tires, and with 10 to go, it's going to be interesting to see how he can hold on to these places. Kenneth Cheney right in this battle with some great speed himself. Let's go down to the inside of Happyak. Happyak's lost out to Wygent and to Arnold now. For the race lead! Arnold goes to the front. Not quite clear of Wygent. Now he is. Oh, it's just unfortunate for Blowers. Just hasn't quite been able to maintain that momentum. But Wygent looking for the lead now on Arnold. Big championship implications for this. Wygent takes the lead now. They're all going to have to get past that 24 car. It's proven to be a bit of a menace if your name is Bobby Blowers. No problem for Wygent, though. Kenneth Cheney now taking advantage, getting some great momentum behind these guys that were battling in front of him. Looking to capitalize now and get through to second place. Happyak takes third from Blowers. The dream is coming to an end for Blowers, it seems like, for now. At least he got past that 24. 8 laps to go. Cheney into second place. Look like the 24 car got up into the wall a little bit there in the background. Trying to keep up with these guys, just in case anything happens. Maybe he can get back on the lead lap. He's going to have to look at his mirrors because Kenneth Cheney is going to be all in that. Wygent definitely has an advantage over some of these guys, having, some, I believe, the freshest tires out of anybody in this group. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone else can keep up with him. Blowers not dropping away yet. Oh, it actually, as I say that, he's hit the wall. I believe he's pushing very hard trying to stay with these guys. Here comes that 24 again. Oh, into the wall again down the front straightaway. Hard driving from the 34, just trying to maximize that racetrack, and it looks like he's just gone over the limit a couple times. All of the top 4 super close to the wall down the backstretch. Cheney all over the back of that 00 car. Of course, at this point, you have to be looking forward, but you also have to be looking in your mirrors. I bet you his Casey Wygent's eyes will just be flicking from the mirrors to the road, just trying to see where he can go to block the air off of that, in front of that 76 car. Down to the inside goes the 76 machine. Side by side for the race lead. 5 laps to go. Wygent doing everything he needs to do. Here comes Arnold now. That inside line move from 76 could cost him here. Arnold chooses to go to the high side, perhaps looking for a run off the corner. He won't be able to get side by side with that 76, but he can keep the pressure on. Happyak in 4th place. It would be a disappointment for him if he was only finished 4th after all the laps he's led and how much great driving he's done. Of course, still in that fight, still a solid top 5, but not what he's looking for. I believe he was not one of the first to pit. I believe Happyak waited a little bit longer than some of the others did. Still close for that race lead. Cheney is not letting that 00 get away. Wygent leaving him a little bit of room for air on the nose of his car, and looks like Cheney is going to have a great run down the front straightaway with 3 laps to go. 2 to go now. Down the inside goes the 76. Close battle down the back straightaway. The 76 side drafting that 00. They go for the lead down into turn 3 and 4. 76 drifts up the track. Can the 00 hang on? Inches from the wall down the front straightaway. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. 76 down the inside to turns 1 and 2 again. Couldn't fit a piece of paper between those two cars as they go through turn 2. It's going to get crazy into turns 3 and 4 here. Josh Arnold will be rubbing his hands together, thinking, what can I do? 76 with a big late move down the inside. Can Wygen hang on? It's going to be a close battle down the front straightaway. Wygen, Cheney, who will it be as they cross the finish line? It's Wygen. Wygen comes out in top in Kentucky in a brilliant finish with Kenneth Cheney. Wow. What an outstanding finish to that race. Another big win for your championship leader. Coming off of last week's dominant win at Langley, Wygen does it again. And that is a big blow to his championship contenders. Bit of a shove from the 34 there. Hopefully just a love tap, nothing more. Same from the number 2. Let's see what his celebration's like. Fantastic race, frankly. I believe that was one of the better races I've seen in a while. Wygen burning it down, well deserved. Funny, it wasn't looking fantastic for him at the start of this race. His closest challenger in the championship, Happyak, getting a well-important stage win at the start of this race. But Wygen came through at the end, and he just kept getting better and better and better as the race went on, and he played that strategy perfectly. Having those fresher tires than everybody else really, really paid off for him, and he drove well enough to account for that undercut being so strong. Great driving by Kenneth Cheney at the end of that race, by the way, taking the fight to Wygen. Solid day for Arnold all around. I know he was up at the front of that race generally, and that'll be a good finish for him. Happyak can't be satisfied with that, though. He led for the vast majority of this race, won stage 1, and unfortunately, any points advantage he would have had over Wygen would be overturned now. Dottie Kite, pretty good day for him. He was up there at the front, but just fell back a little bit at the end. Same with Mensch, really. Bobby Blowers, not really the right strategy call, you could argue, taking 2 tires at the end of that race. He fought valiantly. I reckon he did everything he could to win that race, but just didn't have the tires under him at the end there. And just stuck battling with that 24 car really cost him. Are we not live anymore? That's what you know.
Push past all the pain that you're going through. It won't last if you move how you wanna move. Get lost in the work that you gotta do to be someone better. You can grow into something new. I could be anything that I set my mind to. I do what I need, I can push right through. Fight through those things that are holding me back from the life that I like to have. I'm like, give me time, I'll be just fine. You thought I was worth leaving behind? Get out of your mind. I'll come back better than ever, no matter watch out, fear me now. I can get real mean, I can get real green, got me hawking now. I don't forget those things, don't hear me loud. I focus on myself, I focus on my health. The greatest revenge is building up yourself. Your life and your drive, building up your wealth. Becoming something better than you've ever felt. If you got dreams that you're chasing, the fear in your life, stand up and face it. Ain't nobody coming to help, you're all alone in this world, in this life, embrace it. I know it might seem hard, it might seem tough, it may sound rough, but this state of mind will get you through a lot of stuff and keep you accountable to stay strong when it's tough. No help, I do it by myself, couldn't even tell it, I've been through well. But on the other side came a soldier, much bolder, standing broad shoulders. Step aside and give me the controller, I came here to win, I don't lose, high roller. I wanna be the best in the game, yeah, I came to play and invest, stay colder. Against my mind, you think it lacks the thoughts holding me
Welcome back, everybody. After a very exciting finish to that race, we'll be going to some of our interviews for our top 3 drivers in this race. First of all, we'll be interviewing the numbers 00 of Pacey Wygant, your race winner. Welcome, Pacey. It's Wolfgang up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
So yeah, fantastic victory for you tonight. But it wasn't the perfect start to the race for you. But after the stage, you took off like a rocket. What changed?
I just didn't realize that not saving tires would be as effective in the stage as what it was. So I was planning on just saving tires, laying back, letting the field cook their stuff up there and flying by him, but that never actually happened. And then I looked up and I'm 7 seconds back, and it was a nightmare of a stage. Definitely a low point for me in the race. But yeah, after that, I just decided, well, to abort that strategy, and we're gonna go race. So that's what we did.
Yes, indeed. I'm surprised the tires weren't more of a factor in this race, especially considering it's such a front-limited track.
I think the reason behind that was just because it was a night race. I know racing this during the day, we were falling off almost 3 seconds. But at nighttime, it was only like a second and a half you were losing over the course of the run, and I mean, it's on me. I didn't do the research and stuff and practice throughout the week to know that, and I should have been more prepared. But it is what it is. I mean, it's only 5 points, and we'll make it up somehow, some way.
And you did. You won the race. And that was a fantastic battle at the end there with Kenneth Cheney. What was going through your mind those last couple laps? How were you thinking? What was your strategy for defending your race lead from Cheney?
To be honest, it was just I couldn't let him have the inside, or I couldn't let him have the outside. The English is rough for me tonight. Okay, but no, I couldn't let him have the outside, knowing how important side draft in the runoff 4 is. I could give a little bit in 1 and 2, but I couldn't afford to let him clear me in 3 and 4, and he almost did that last lap. I'm not sure why he checked up like he did. He was clear, and it allowed me to drive back by his outside. So that's literally all that was running through my head. I knew we had a lap pressure tires, and with this track, the tires do mean something, whether it's night, day, or not. The tires do mean something, even if it's 3 laps. So I knew he had the pressure set there, so I just needed to keep him to the inside, and that's what we did.
Yeah, some great driving by you at the end there. Anybody would like to thank for tonight's win?
Yeah, I gotta shout out y'all up in the booth for broadcasting each and every week. I gotta shout out PBR Racing, great group of guys. Can't do it without them. I gotta shout out Airs Design, Juicy Spiders Studios Gaming, whatever you want. Juicy Spiders got you covered. Gotta shout out the Fast Gas podcast, and of course, Rodney for putting this on each and every week.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your time, and thank you for thanking us. This is my first time commentating on this league, and this is my first time being the lead commentator. So thank you. I appreciate the compliment, and congrats on your win tonight.
Thank you.
Have a great one. So that was Pacey Wygant. Understandably happy after that win. So next we'll be going to the second place finisher of the 76th of Kenneth Cheney. Welcome, Kenneth. It's Wolfgang up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hello. Yes.
Well, that was a super exciting battle at the end there between you and the 00 of Pacey Wygant. What was going through your head? What was your thought process?
Oh my god, my thought process. Oh my god. So entering on the final lap, entering 3 and 4, I really thought it was gonna cross me over because from the sound of it, like being side by side or whatever, it sounded like it lifted early to try to let me push it in there, and then obviously go wide so you can cross me over. So as soon as I heard him get off the gas early, I let off with him too, and I guess that wasn't his move. And he just had the run get me off before, and I was like, damn it. I was like, no. Like, yeah, it was fun. It was a fun battle for sure. But I was like, dang it! Like I feel like I had like a better like race pace there at the end there with the fresher tires. So I was like, dang, good win, Pacey. But yeah, that was fun though. That was really fun. So shoot.
Yeah, it was super fun to watch you charge through the field there at the end. You're just making up places, taking advantage of the momentum of the fresh tires, and obviously some very good driving as well. Anybody you would like to thank for this second place?
Yeah, just thanks to Donnie and just the league. It was just good racing tonight. For the most part, I don't really know what's going on between the 34 and the 24, but whatever. So I thought otherwise though. Like, thanks to the league tonight for just having a good race. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that was a bit of an intense battle. It was a little too intense for a leader in a lap car. Yeah, wasn't the outcome that Bobby would have wanted there. But nevertheless, congratulations on your second place. And it's been great to have you here racing with us tonight.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
No problem. Have a great one.
You too.
That was Kenneth Cheney, your second place finisher. Still in high spirits, even after a very close finish that, to many would have been disappointing. But obviously happy about the nice battle, super close finish, and really, really good drive by him. Next, we're going to be interviewing Josh Arnold, our third place finisher. Hi, Josh. It's Wolfgang up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Yeah, congratulations on your third place finish. It was a great race for you all around. Quite a few battles at the sharp end of the field. What was going through your mind those last few laps watching Wygen and Cheney battle?
That I wish I had waited one more lap to pit, because I think that was the difference. I mean, they pitted one lap after I did. I pitted like 4 laps after Happy Act, so I finished in front of him, and then we pitted, like 7 laps in front of or after Bobby, and I finished in front of him. So you could tell by the top 5 there how we pitted that last time, and tire wear was that important. And so I just wish I had one less lap. I mean, I think I could have done, but then hey, that whole last lap I was thinking, come on guys, wreck, and then they never wrecked. But but hey, I still got third. The only playoff driver, I guess, not a non-playoff driver in the top 5. So feels good to be running against the best out there.
Yeah, and the races you've done, this has been a pretty good season for you. I've seen the stats. Got a win, a couple of top 5s, all but one race in the top 10. It's been a good season for you so far in the races you have done. Actually, my bad. That was a different person.
No,
sorry,
I mean,
got all these stats pulled up, and it's easy to get confused. You get a little confused about them, but
no, yeah,
today was a fantastic.
I came in about halfway through the season, so I'm not eligible for the playoffs. So maybe next season I'll get that full run in, and we have a chance to put some of these stats together and build maybe a playoff run, and then turn that into a championship season or something.
Yeah, absolutely. If you drive like today, it's certainly possible. Actually, and I've looked at your stats. It's been a pretty good season for you as well. I believe 4 out of your 6 races have been top 5s. Quite a few bonus points as well.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I'm terrible at stage points. I mean, that will be my downfall every time. But even in some other leagues, like I'm in the top 8 out of a 30 person league for the playoffs, with the final race of the round of 8 coming up this Monday. And I look there at the stats, and I have just the lowest stage points. I can get great finishes. It's that that beginning of the run that maybe I falter at. So maybe we can put some stuff together, and especially next week. The last few races should be barn burners as far as side-by-side racing. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, Richmond Talladega Auto Club. It's going to be some pretty intense racing. Anybody would like to thank for your top 3 finish tonight?
Yeah, I would like to thank the Joey Logano Foundation for being on the car. I would like to thank the admins in the league, and then I would especially like to thank Legends Racing Network for broadcasting this.
Thank you, appreciate it. I did my best. Talon did a great job directing the broadcast as well, so shout out to him. And yeah, congrats on your top 3 finish, and I hope you have a good one.
Thank you so much. Maybe I'll talk to y'all next week.
Hopefully, for you.
All right.
Have a good one. So that was our top 3 tonight. It was quite an exciting race all throughout. There was very few moments where there wasn't an intense battle going on. It was tooth and nail fighting, but amazingly clean at the end there as well. I thought for sure that Cheney and Wygent were going to make contact at some point, but they just never did. It was just outstanding driving by both of them, and so congratulations to them on that top 2. And yes, next week will be Richmond. Short track, lots of bumping and banging, I assume, and yeah, it'll be an intense race for these championship guys. I appreciate everyone who's watched this stream. I appreciate everybody who's tuned in tonight. And we will see you next week.